So I don't know if you got Jay. I know you've been following this, and Sean, you said you've been following this.
Yes.
Yes.
So some crazy shit. You have pretty much the comic book Whisper Network that we've all talked about for a long time. Pretty much have blood on their hands now because they pushed this guy into killing himself. Put out a 5-page manifesto, pretty much talking about why he did it, and he named names, namely 2 that stick out to me, and 3 actually that stick out to me because they've been pulling bullshit like this for years. Daryl Ayo, Villalobos, what's his name? What's his first name?
Yeah, I know you're talking about the look like he a Hispanic guy.
It's R. Villalobos.
Name.
The other one is Alex DeCampi. Alex DeCampi has a lot of sway in the comic book industry, which is crazy because she's never really done shit. It's really funny. This is why a lot of us have always called the comic book industry a bottom-up industry, because it's the people at the bottom with absolutely no skill or talent compared to their peers that pretty much run everything, because everyone's afraid of them because they're so tight-knit that they can take you down. They've taken down a lot of people. And this one, he knew what was going to happen. This happens to you in the comic book industry, you'll never work in the comic book industry again. And that was his passion and his love, and didn't want to without it, so he killed himself. And now they're pulling some crazy shit, trying to be the victim. Notably, Alex DeCampi, who's a gigantic piece of shit. Years and years of this shit. She's the victim already. These were what she tweeted out 48 hours after the man's death. She's, of course, the victim now. 48 hours after Ed Piskor took his own life and named Alex DeCampi as a bully in his suicide note, she complained about those mourning his death. Their criticisms of her conduct, including open defamation, are bullshit heat. And they'll all off back to their parents' cellars. So she is now the victim. He has killed himself. His family, his brother notably, posted a heartbreaking video, man, of his nephew, saying, where Ed, I hope you're okay and stuff. And she's thinking about a way she can victim her way out of this shit. Alex DeCampi is one of the nastiest people in the world, and now she has blood on her hands. So does Renfamous, that fucking piece of shit. She's got blood on her hands now, and I wonder if the jig's up for these fucking people finally. But probably not, because the comic book industry is full of cowards that let this cancer rot into everything. There's more people. He didn't name them all, but there's like the Joe Glasses, Mags Visagios, Heather Antos. All of those people are responsible for his death.
But notice he said towards the end of that letter, he said it was many more bullies. I think he just didn't he didn't have time.
That's some of them. Heather Antos for sure. Yeah. Visagio, all these people, man. They're all nasty motherfuckers.
That entire industry is so fucking corrupt because, like I think I mentioned it before the stream, like they've been censoring the names that he listed in his suicide note.
The Daily Mail didn't.
Yeah, no, I mean, like the people in like the comic book industry, when they're talking about this, they're hiding the people that he fucking named, and they're blaming others.
He said, I was murdered by internet bullies, massive amounts of them. Some of you out there absolutely contribute to my death as you were entertaining yourself with gossip. That was from the own words of Ed Piskor.
Yeah, that's what they do. And this is what they ultimately want when they go after you. They want you to kill yourself. And now you're seeing it, right?
Yeah, that's where I wonder why anybody even thinks they'll even remotely feel like they're responsible in any way, because this is exactly what they wanted. So, yeah.
Now, I'm not defending him being stupid and talking to he's like 40-something years old and trying to hit up the 17-year-old
Well,
That's
no.
gross,
He
but,
was 38
yeah,
when they started
still,
talking.
I don't
I
know.
know
I
it's not
wouldn't.
right. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying
Speak
But
on
he
it,
didn't
Anna.
rape her. He didn't assault her. And
Yeah.
what it looks like, she was like, what would you say? She was liking all of his
So
pictures and
she
stuff.
was she went through his like profile and just like liked everything, right? And so when you look at your notifications, like when somebody just love bombs you kind of thing.
Yeah.
And she initiated the flirting, not him. He in his suicide note, he shared that. So
And the other
that in
one
mind.
was in her 30s. She's in her 30s now.
I guess the best rule to follow is there aren't women on the internet. It gives you a lot of trouble.
Yeah, just don't go saying stupid shit to him in DMs.
Well, that too, but I'm just saying, if someone says they're a girl on the internet, you're like, okay, yeah, sure, and then move on. Sorry, Anna, but
Look, I want to say this. This situation.
No, dude, I'm married.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, anybody.
Yeah,
who, like,
no. I know what you
understand
mean. I know what you mean. When a girl slides into your DMs, be suspicious. I'm right there with you.
Hey, but this is a double-edged sword because was he wrong for being in the DMs? Yes. But at the same time, when you look at the things he said to the girl, it wasn't on a level of, hey, I want to get in the bed and sleep with you. It wasn't on that. It was unnecessary flirting, inappropriate flirting, but it wasn't enough to say, hey, you're an evil rapist man. You know what I mean?
I think he could have came back from this in
I think
some
so
ways.
too.
Yeah, but
I think he should have just now. I hate to be like this. I mean, I hate to be the what if type person, but I think if he would have just gave himself a few months and came back, it would have been okay.
But just to put an extra thing on this though, Jay, I'm sure he's not stupid and knows what these people do. Like,
yeah.
I watched your boy Zach's video because he finally made one today, and he talked about this, and he is right. And it's that they never stop. So I guess recently, Alex DeCampi, before this, was once again going after CB Sapolsky for the Akira Yoshida thing. For those that don't know, before he was editor-in-chief, he was I think he was the head of their Asian department for like distribution and localization. I'm not 100% sure on that, but he was involved in something, and he wrote some books under the name Akira Yoshida. And people say, well, he's using an Asian name to get it work. It's a long story, but they called that racist. In fact, he hired people that called him racist, which was funny. It shows you what a spine he has. But he's apologized for that, and they still hound him for it. So I guess Alex DeCampi was like alluding to he should be fired again, as she always does, because that's the only way she exists is to stick a knife in somebody. And that, I'm sure, influenced Ed, knowing that they never let it go despite any apology. They never let it go.
We should send the Kazuka after these bullies.
Well, it's the other thing is everybody in his circle went after him, including his co-host, right? Like they all stabbed him.
Yeah, that guy stabbed him in the back too, which is kind of fucked up.
Oh, Jim Rugg.
Yeah.
But you know what? He said it in the last letter he wrote. He said Jim Rugg, those words hurt him, but he said Jim Rugg did show up back at his house. And if you read the letter, he was kind of like passing the business on to Jim Rugg. So I don't think it was rough for him to hear the words, but I don't think it destroyed their friendship, you know. That letter was very heartbreaking too, man. Did y'all read the entire letter?
It's rough.
Yeah.
After I read that letter, man, I couldn't even sleep that night. I was messed up. It really messed me up.
It's a sad situation. It really is. I wanted to make a video on it, but I decided not to because it's kind of grossed out by this whole.
Well, and the sad part about it, the whole thing is those who are actually accountable won't hold themselves accountable or take any responsibility. The best you can hope for out of this situation now is that people who are in that camp who may not have realized how bad these things can get or, what the end result is, what, going to be, they may start to realize that and step back from it. But again, those who are actually championing this whole thing and The leaders of this shit aren't gonna, but they might lose some support. That's about it. That's the most you can hope for.
Sean, can I ask you? You're a
Sure.
criminal. I mean, I'm not a criminal, but you're
I did criminal defense. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, you're a legal guy.
Mentally, yes. No.
You said you follow this.
Mhm.
It wasn't any like. Could they do a sexual thing against Ed? If this was.
Here's a question. Actually, I want to ask you, and I'm glad you brought that up, Jay. Can the family sue the people that they named?
Oh, sure. They can be sued. I mean, yeah.
How do you think that would turn out?
It'd be a civil situation.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
right?
Yeah,
you
it would
sue
be,
him for like intentional affliction, emotional distress, sue him for wrongful death. If you can really prove it, yeah, you might have a case. I mean, I think it'd be worth suing, especially if he can lay it out and if he's got all the receipts and he saved everything. Yeah, certainly you could.
Well, the allegations
Mhm.
you'd have to call out their character, right? Like, because you could go into their history of doing this shit,
Yeah, sure. I mean, you could.
and it's
do it
all
that
out
way.
there, all archived.
Well,
All
I
of
mean,
that is archived.
and if you really want to make an example out of him, that's one thing you can hope is that his family probably does go after specific individuals who were the leaders of this campaign. I mean, I would think. I mean, and that's the only way that anything's going to change. But
as far as like any criminal activity, there isn't anything, and I'm not sure I want there to be criminal activity in this situation. We have enough laws and there's enough crimes. You know, as a judge once told me, we've got enough criminals. We don't need to make more at this point. He said, you know, people being assholes is just gonna be with us forever. So